Hello everybody, Martin here, back with round 2 of this Legacy League on the play, playing Death and Taxes. We're up against Truckis, which is a good buddy of mine, Marcus. And Marcus either plays Miracles, which he does quite excellently, or he plays Solitary, or High Tide. So, can we keep this against Miracles? It feels a little feeble, although the draw of Aether Vial is very strong. They have Force of Will. If Marcus has Force of Will for this, it's really bad for us. But I'm gonna risk it and try to draw into some creatures, or hope alternatively that these wastelands can hurt him. Wasteland traditionally doesn't really hurt Miracles all that much. Dang, and you had the Force of Will, Force Pitching Force. Okay. And we draw Plowshares, which is not great. So let's not let off that we have Wasteland. Let's go for the Stoneforge. We're going to tutor up the sort of Fire and Ice. Hope that he doesn't have a way to fetch basic planes. Okay, he does. Okay, top, sure. Well, and now we're just breaking off here. Yeah, this was a gambit that didn't pay off. I mean, even if we had resolved the vial, we've drawn like nothing. Though, just having the vial for when he inevitably gets ahead and gets off his first terminus, it's just having the vial game one is just super good. We didn't vial in sort of fire and ice on our turn, which has led us to now being vulnerable to Vendilion Click, but I don't think he runs Vendilion Click in the main at least. Okay, so Brainstorm, sure. I'm guessing he's putting on what's called Terminus on top. Well, there's an Aether Vial, so that's good. Better late than never. So let's equip this. We'll get a Terminus. Yep. That's fine. Having the Sword of Fire and Ice in play is actually a pretty big boon here because it means... Oh, no! Oh! I goddamn clicked. I clicked through my second main step, so we didn't get to play our land or the Aether Vial, so that sucks. Well, I was just, and now, oh wow, talk about being punished. Well, let's cast this, and if we're lucky, we'll flicker out the... He doesn't use counterbalance. We'll flicker out the counterbalance and get to resolve our Aether Vial, but I mean, geez, we just got punished big time there. Because I'd much rather have, like, Flicker Wisp in hand, I think, in a vial with one counter on it, but on the other hand, like, we're looking pretty good if we can get this Flicker Wisp to connect with a sword equipped. That's a pretty big ask, though, but he only has 2 cards in hand due to that Force of Will. Another Wasteland. Well, let's equip here, see if it gets to connect. Or if there's like another Terminus. I'm guessing it wouldn't... Oh, and there is. Yeah. Never mind. Well, we have the Vial now, which is a pretty big deal. And we have the Sword. But we're like super vulnerable to basically any of his threats because we're never getting in with we're never hitting a Monastery Mentor with the plow when he has top and counterbalance. So Monastery Mentor is like insanely scary. Jace is also really terrible for us here if he gets to make Jace. And yeah, he shuffles, so that's good. Let's tick this up to 2. Draw a creature. Nope. We draw another land. Wow, flooding out a bit, but that's sort of a bit more likely when you're running a deck with no cantrips or deck manipulation to speak of. What I would love more than anything right now, I think, to draw would be a Recruiter of the Guard. If we were to draw a Recruiter, we could Recruiter for another Recruiter, and that way we have like we can loop unless they plow it. So I think actually what we want to do is tick this up. It's just much more likely they have a 2 on top though, that they were able to find a 2. So if we were to, let's keep it at 2 for the time. Oh, I don't know. It's tough. Well, let's take it up. And what is it with me and drawing Swords to Plowshares? I don't think we stand to gain anything by holding on to these wastelands. Now, like, a lot of stuff is good. Like, drawing the Bangara would also be really good here, although a bit slow. But as things go like this, and he just continually gets to top every turn and crack fetch lands, like, he's just so much more likely to draw into the answers he needs rather than the other way around. Also, if these wastelands had been Rishadan ports, that'd been pretty sweet. Umezawa's GTA, we're not going to play that out yet, if at all. Snapcaster, sure. Snapcaster Brainstorm, I guess. It's a pretty slow clock, and we'll draw a creature to island before Snapcaster kills us, I'm pretty sure. Yep, get in there. Banisher Priest, not too bad. I'm not really too keen on Banisher Priesting in taking out Snapcaster because he is very likely to have like a Phantom Plowshares by now, and then he plows and gets another trigger off his Snapcaster. So I'd much rather be able to Banisher Priest than Monastery Mentor. Although, I mean, we need to be doing something soon, but not quite yet, I don't think. Mother of Runes. Well, all Mom is never resolving through this counterbalance as things stand. I'm not sure what kind of win conditions Marcus is running here. I would think it would be Monastery Mentor because of the Ponders, but yeah, I'm just trying to work out if I'm just going to get like a bunch of angels in my face at the end of turn. Or Jace. Yeah, keeping us both white sources. Oh. And we're gonna get Fate Sealed. Can we afford to wait on this? I think we have to try and make a move. I mean, what I think is going to happen is almost certainly going to happen, which is the Banisher Priest is going to get Plowshared. But I don't think we can allow Jace to just unimpededly go to town on us. But yeah, so this happened. Did he bottom or top with Jace? He topped, unfortunately. So yeah, I think we are losing this game, unfortunately. It was a pretty loose keep. I think at the end of the day, that's sort of what killed us, is that we kept a hand with one creature rather than the Aether Vial getting countered. But let's see. I'm just going to try and play this out into the counterbalance. And there's another counter. Okay, there's a 2 on top. So we kind of needed to, I think, expect that, but it's nice to know. Okay, so brainstorming with Jace, so not going for the win that way. Port, a little late to the party. Predicting for mucho card advantage. Let's tab out the mountain, mostly for fun by now. Nothing is coming off it. Put a card on top with Jace, sure. He has 6 cards in hand now in his Fate Sealing, so yeah, I think we're just going to concede, get on to game number 2. There's a non-zero chance we could have turned that around, but it was very slim. Alright, so let's bring in the Armageddon, Cataclysm, and the double Gideon, who is a little bit awkward with Cataclysm, but yeah, let's bring in the Prelate as well, and Council's Judgment, I guess. So what don't we really want? I guess we don't want 4 plowshares. Let's bring that down to 2, maybe even 1. Don't need the Crusader, don't need the Jite, don't need the Batter Skull. So maybe we want the Crusader and 1 plowshares over 2 Stoneforge Mystics. We're diluting our Aether Vial plan a bit, but not too much. Do we want... No, we don't want triple source of plowshares, for sure. We would rather have the Mirran Crusader, which I thought I took in, but I guess not. Yeah, let's try this. Alright, let's be on the play, and let's not keep this. Only 1 land. Doesn't cast any spell. Yeah, let's keep this. It's not great, but the Cavern is sort of enticing. It's pretty bad though. Oh gosh. No, but let's do it. And let's bottom Mother Runes. No, maybe let's top her. Oh, I already regret that, because it means we don't have a play on turn 2. It means if Mom gets plowed on turn 1, we have another Mom. And Mom will get plowed depending on how much he feels like he can set up a Terminus. Yeah. Gosh, these wastelands feel awful. So we need to draw, like, Thalia here would be pretty sweet. Recruiter of the Guard would be good. I'd take an Aether Vial. Alternatively, like a Plains or White Producing Land. But I think we are looking pretty poorly positioned here, considering our mulligan to 6 and our keep. Uh, the way this hand gets better is if he doesn't have top, and then he's sort of forced to play out awkward fetches or awkward lands like dual lands, but that doesn't seem like what's happening. Flicker Wisp is terrible here. Yeah, let's just not do anything because we can't really. We play the mom, but having two moms here doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, well. I think, like, against Miracles, you want to be doing a lot of stuff on the early turns when they're just getting set up. Monastery Mentor, sure. Come on, White Source. Well, there's a White Source, so I guess we hope they don't have Force of Will. Yeah, we have to do this now. Oh, okay, great. We didn't have Force. Slice of luck. Jace, okay, sure. Yeah, Jace is bad. So I guess, like, Revoker would be good here. Although we are risking them just having Terminus on top now. Another Plains. It's good. So I guess what we're going to do here is, as cheekily as possible, I think, is attack Jace with Mom, flicker in, flicker with, flicker out Mom. Is that a thing? Can't really do anything else. If they force the Flicker Wisp, we can still play another Mom, but we are not going to do that. I don't think. Oh. And there I was, yapping. But let's do this and flicker out the Plains. So we represent having another Plowshares. Well, I suppose that was to be expected. Well, I actually feel like Miracles is a pretty evenly paced matchup for Death and Taxes. I really like playing it a lot, but we were just getting destroyed here by a sketchy keep on in game one, and by mulliganing to also kind of sketchy 6-card hand that I. You tell me in the comments. I don't really think I could mulligan that. Well, he has missed land drops, which is good, especially when drawing a port. So we're going to port the Plains, I think. Okay. Plow for Mom, sure. But he's going to find more lands. It's kind of impossible for me to imagine that he won't with Jason top. Casting these Ponders as well. But I guess, like, the way this matchup plays out favorably for Death and Taxes is if we get to resolve Aether Vial. But he's still missing lands. And speaking of Aether Vial, let's try it out. Okay, Aether Vial is in. And I guess let's try this. We could just be sitting on it, but I want to put pressure on that Jace. You have to force, and that's unfortunate. That means he has Wear Tear for the Aether Vial. Yeah, because he would have forced it otherwise. Actually, let's let him use his top on upkeep. No, okay, so we'll tap it on the draw step. Snapcaster, targeting Ponder. So I think what needs to happen now is we need to draw like Cataclysm. Cataclysm, we maybe are able to sort of even this up. And they've forced pitching, not so he's only used one force. But instead we just draw crappy Wasteland. I mean, as long as his mana situation is as it is, you can only really get to the one planes unless you want to fetch non-basic, which I doubt he will. If we draw Gideon, it's not that spectacular because, like, Gideon, we make an ally, knight, whatever, and it gets. It's interesting that he chooses to. Okay, predict, sure. Maximizing those draws. Gideon, we make a knight, it gets bounced by Jace, Gideon gets attacked by Snapcaster, rinse, repeat, like, that's not getting us all, like, a lot. Eight cards in hand our opponent has. It's great, great. We have to assume our opponent has another, what's it called? Another Force of Will by now. So let's tap the planes. And I guess let's have the Schadenport. Oh, sorry, the mountain. I'm not really sure if they have like Blood Moon or some other red source we need to worry about. Engineered explosives right now obviously isn't really doing a lot, but so at what point does he start Fate Sealing? Okay, now, yeah, sure. And we get to keep that card. Lovely. Great feeling by Mr. Jace. Well, I mean, these ports are doing work, but I don't think like the time has come and gone when we were able to beat this Jace. That he will, in like all likelihood, be floating like a Terminus on top. Meanwhile, we draw more lands. I still think like Cataclysm, our one-off Cataclysm is like our only shot. Meanwhile, he's just masturbating in his card advantage over there. He even had the gall, yes, gall, to to bin the Terminus. Okay, sure. I guess there is more Termini on top. Or just doesn't care. Let's tap on the, oops. Let's tap on the draw step. Tap the planes. Yeah, let's just tap the other one. The only way this matters, I think, is if it's in treat. But then he has to flip top, but not that that matters. And it's not. Come on, bottom. Bottom us. He's putting the top card. He's thinking about it. And he put it on the bottom. Yes, small victory. Come on with a sweet pull on top from the top of the deck. That doesn't somehow get answered by one of his amazing million cards. Uh-oh. Double top. We've lost. I think. What do we draw? Not what the doctor ordered. Okay, we can concede here because... Let's not concede. Let's just get one more, like, look at that Cataclysm that he obviously doesn't have any way to answer. No Force of Will or anything in his hand. And that will still leave him with, like, a top and a Monastery Mentor, but whatever. And us with only a land. Oh. Snapcaster into what? I don't care. I'm wastelanding this Tundra right here. Yeah, sure. I guess like a brainstorm or predict. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Because I'd rather just... Doesn't matter. I was going to say, like, I'd rather not cast a 2-mana spell here, but just get a 1-mana spell with the Mentor to trigger more stuff. But I guess a card in hand is better than a monk on top. Sorry, than a monk in play. And he's losing his top to one of his tops to this. Well, he probably has another top. I'm just gonna ask what was on top of my deck. If it was the Cataclysm. It says Sanctum Prelate was on top. I guess if we go Prelate for maybe 1, but I mean, he would just bounce it with that chase. Chose not to Fate Seal us now, but I mean, why would he now that he has lethal next turn with the Monster Mentor? Alright, so we are getting our butts kicked here by miracles, but so it can be. EE on 0 to trigger monks, because why not? Come on, sweet Cataclysm. Oh no. Alright, we are out. Well, that was kind of painful, but the way it can go sometimes. I hope you enjoyed that anyways, and I'll see you back for some more Legacy action.